Ciao ragazzi! This is Talk Calcio TV on YouTube. Welcome to this episode of Talk Calcio TV, where we talk about the latest goings on in the world of Serie A and Italian football itself. Now, there was a game last night in Serie A. It was the rearranged fixture from February the 25th. Of course, when Juventus was supposed to be hosting Atalanta, and then the heavy snow came down on the Alliance Arena. We were in Italy that weekend watching that game before we went to Roma against AC Milan. The game was played last night. Juventus won 2-0. Goals from Gonzalo Higuain. He scored one and then he set up Matuidi for the second. Juventus won 2-0. Their gap over Napoli is now 4 points. Atalanta, of course, were also reduced to 10 men when Gianluca Mancini was shown a red card. Now, we're not saying the title race is over. Massimo Allegri, in fact, was the first to say that Juventus have won nothing yet. But you've got to say it is advantage to the Bianconeri, the reigning champions. And we're not writing Napoli off, but it's going to be a massive task to overturn the deficit now. When you do look at Juventus's fixtures, though, there is maybe 2 or 3 games where you think that might cost them the title. Of course, they do have to host Napoli, as we know. They also have to go away to Inter Milan at the San Siro and Roma at the Stadio Olimpico, if the title's not already won by then. But those could be a couple of tricky points there for Juventus. Massimo Allegri and even other players, though, they're keeping their feet firmly on the ground. They're saying the Scudetto is by no means over. They know Napoli will fight till the very end. And it looks to be a promising run at the end of the Scudetto race, that's for sure. Of course, Roma and Juventus are both in the Champions League last 8. The draw is tomorrow. We'll be on Facebook Live for that one. So if you haven't already liked us, do give us a like and you can see us broadcast the draw live or give our reactions. Now, like we just said, Roma and Juventus both into the last 8 of the Champions League, having eliminated Spurs and Shakhtar Donetsk respectively. It turns out that both coaches of those two sides haven't been gracious in defeat. Last week, as you know, Mauricio Pochettino claimed that Agnelli's, the Juventus president's, presence in the tunnel before and at half-time seemed to affect refereeing decisions made by the officials. Now, we're not going to lie, we know Juventus have a history of match fixing back in Italy, but on this instance, I have to say Mauricio Pochettino is being sour grapes. On the night, Juventus did what they had to do, they got the result, they were more clinical than Spurs. I think Pochettino should just put his hand up and just admit the best team won. You know, he's being sour, let's be honest. He's not the only one, though. Paolo Fonseca, the Shakhtar Donetsk coach, was also ungracious in defeat this week. When Roma, of course, beat them 1-0, Roma went through, albeit 2-2 on aggregate on the away goals rule, thanks to a goal from Edin Dzeko. Shakhtar, as you know, also had a player sent off. He says here, and I quote, Roma, we can't say much about Roma based on one game, but they made the most of their only opportunity in the game. Shakhtar had all the possession. Even when we were down to 10 men, we were by far the better team. I think it's fair to say that he didn't feel like dressing up as Zorro after his side were eliminated in the Champions League. That's for certain. One man who is not getting carried away there being 2 Italian teams in the last 8 of the Champions League, and that is Arrigo Sacchi. The former AC Milan coach and Italian national coach. Of course, he has come out and criticised Italian football. He says, until Calcio finds a style and identity, it will be very hard to improve. The media and pundits only praise the result, not the performance. It is not like a showpiece spectacle like it is in Spain. That is why we are miles behind the rest of the world. Now, of course, Sacchi did win the European Cup twice with AC Milan. He took the national team to the final of the USA 94 World Cup against Brazil. Sacchi, you know, great manager he was, let's not dispute that. Back then, though, Serie A and Calcio in general was a lot different then. It was the best league in the world before the Premier League really come along and took that title. The national team were a lot better. Now we're on about a point where Italian football is at its all-time low. Now for Sacchi to turn around and say, you know, pour water on the achievement by 2 Italian teams in the last 8. You know, on paper, last few years, it's only been Juventus that have been a threat in the competition. You know, Roma came through a group of Chelsea and Atletico Madrid. None of them expected them to make the knockouts, let alone get to the last 8. When you look at the likes of Manchester United, Chelsea, even Spurs, and some other teams that even haven't made the last 8, I think Arrigo Sacchi needs to take a lot into consideration there. That's not criticising one of the best Italian coaches of all time. Also a bit of transfer news. It's been said today, according to the Gazzetta dello Sport, that Real Madrid allow the latest to join the chase for Brazilian goalkeeper Alisson from the Giallorossi Roma. Now, Alisson this year in goal, his performances have been outstanding. Paolo and Fonseca, the Shakhtar Donetsk coach, actually said that he won in the tie in the first round in the leg in the Champions League, and he probably wasn't wrong given the saves he made. He's on a wanted list. They reckon Liverpool already looked at him. Napoli, the Partenope, are so say interested, but it's believed he doesn't want to stay in Italy. If he's likely to go, he's going to go abroad. Real Madrid, of course, interested. They already so say linked with Mauro Icardi as well as Harry Kane and Dele Alli. I'm sure there's going to be a bidding war come the summer after the World Cup for certain. He's likely to be Brazil's first choice. It makes it all the more interesting come Russia this summer in the World Cup. So thanks for watching this episode of Talk Calcio TV on YouTube, and tell us what you thought of the topics we discussed. Juventus, is the title in their hands? Has Napoli got any more fight left? Mauricio Pochettino and Paolo Fonseca, are they just bad losers? Also, tell us what you think about the latest transfer news and Arrigo Sacchi's comments saying that it's not really much of an achievement for Italian football. Tell us what you think. Like, comment below, and don't forget to subscribe Talk Calcio TV on YouTube. Tomorrow it's the Champions League draw. We will have reaction on our Facebook. So go over to our Facebook page, Talk Calcio TV, give us a like, and you can see us broadcast live during the draw. Arrivederci. Ciao.